I see there's Nicole Carlson watching. I'm glad to see you have a picture now, Nicole.
Isn't that nice? Her beautiful smiley face.
Yeah, it's great. I understand not being able to have a picture, but when you can, at least then you can see what the people look like and stuff. So that's good.
You know, I admire everyone who's been able to put a picture on here. I don't know how to do that. It's one of those things, that technology things I haven't yet figured out. So
when I signed on with my Google account, it put my picture up.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even do it. It did it automatically.
Oh,
I wonder if I
go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go ahead, Holly.
When we had originally signed up for Zoom, I didn't know how to put my picture up either. And then I ended up having to go to the desktop computer and then sign in from there, and I was able to upload a picture. Otherwise, I've since learned recently with my cell phone, I can take a picture, but I'm having a challenge actually using an existing one.
You can also put up a background, but the background isn't very true. It keeps moving around and changing, and then you look kind of weird and stuff like that.
Huh. I'll have to get into that and look at it.
So am I to believe that Tarabella isn't up? It's just us three?
No. I see everybody. Sandy's here. She's on mute. Charmaine just came on. She's going to be doing a cooking demo next.
Yeah, Charmaine's ready, so let's all mute for now so she can get hers on and straight.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, it looks like I have 3 minutes, so should we wait?
No, you can go right ahead.
Even though we're 5 minutes early?
It's fine. You go longer than that anyway, so it's fine. People are on. They haven't left.
Okay. Well, how is everybody today?
Really good.
What are you guys in the mood for? Are you in the mood for things sweet and delicious?
Charmaine, you're a little tiny one again.
You don't. I've got my iPad. That's weird. Is that working?
It says your network bandwidth is low, but you're just a small square. Not there. You go.
There you go. I'm able to see the whole screen, if that helps.
No, you have a small phone.
Okay, what do you see now?
It's small. It kind of goes back and forth. It says your bandwidth is low, so it might switch you back and forth on the size.
I don't know what to do about that. I guess I can try it on. Let me get something else real quick. All righty. Let's just try this and see if I'm going to exit, Sandy, and I'll be right back.
Okay. Now you're sideways.
Okay, hang on.
There you go.
Is that better?
That's good.
Okay. Camera's crooked, but I can't fix that. It doesn't want to. Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Homebrewed videos.
It's like your internet up there was not doing real good today.
It's not. Do you see the blenders and stuff?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right, guys. So, welcome back to the Miracle Mile Kitchen. This is what we call this place out here, Miracle Acres. And I have some yummy things for you today. I'm rather excited about some of these things because they are delectable and divine. Are you excited about some desserts? Anybody? Okay. Why don't we start with a word of prayer? Okay. Dear Father, thank you that we can come together on this day of preparation and learn some amazing things about this food and its nourishment for us and the beauty of it. We want to thank you for it and bless this presentation and all who are coming and those that are watching. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so I'm going to get started. I think I'm going to minimize me, then I don't look at myself, I look at you. Oh, I guess we can't do that. Okay, never mind. All right, so I have a savory and I have two luscious desserts. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start with my savory recipe first, just so I can get that out of the way and then focus on my desserts that I have for you today. So, oh, by the way, my cutting board, I always have a savory side and a sweet side. You know that about me, right? Because I don't want my melon tasting like garlic. That is the worst faux pas you can have. If you just chop your fruit on a side that you've used for garlic or onion or something like that, it's just nasty. And you serve it on a beautiful plate, and then people taste that and they go, ugh. So really be cognizant of that, what your food is looking like, what your food is tasting like. People eat with their eyes, and you want it to be beautiful. Now, yesterday I was in Sandpoint, which is a lovely little town. And let me grab a paper towel. These are wet. I was in Sandpoint, Idaho. And I went to Winter Ridge, which is a nice little market. I don't know what you can liken it to, but kind of a mini Whole Foods kind of thing. And look at this delicious dandelion. It was screaming at me to pick it up. So I had to pick it up. So it was just so beautiful. Do you guys get excited about dandelion, about greens? Well, I do. Maybe you don't, but I do. So I'm going to use this beautiful dandelion in a salad because it was just like, wow. And I'm going to eat it all myself, I think. So for this salad, this is a dandelion chicha bean salad, garbanzos. And you know what I did? I just dropped these in my Instant Pot. That's all I did with them, cooked them up real quick. I didn't even put any seasoning on them. You don't really have to. You just drop them in your Instant Pot. And garbanzos are pretty easy to cook like a lentil, so you don't want to overcook them. I think the bean cooking on the Instant Pot is probably a little too long. So it's like 30 minutes. You probably want to take that down to about 15 minutes is good because they're plenty soft and you want them a little bit firm, not too soft. So I have my chicha beans, my garbanzos, and now I'm going to put in these luscious dandelions, and we're just going to chop these up fine. And the reason that is, dandelions are very spicy. They're very, but this is a delicious salad. I happen to like the bitter flavor, like arugula, something like that. And the more deep green, the more bitter your green, the more cleansing.
Charmaine, you keep going back and forth.
For your body, your cells.
We can't hear you.
Your liver, your organs. So this is really healing. This is deep. All right, let me think of something. Okay.
Okay, that's true.
Hopefully.
Yeah, right. But this one's made more like one.
All right, 1 second. Let me just turn that off. Got everything Now I just turned off my Wi-Fi knob, so it really focuses hopefully on cellular data and you'll be able to see it. I hope. Excuse me. Is that it all better? Is that better?
Yes.
It's okay. It's just not real clear. It's just, but that's okay.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I have a booster out here, but I don't know what the deal is today. It's kind of overcast. I don't know what's going on. All right, so I don't know what you heard, but I have dandelion greens and they're very good for detoxification, cleansing. The more deeper the green, the more cleansing it is, the more bitter the green, the more healing to the liver and detoxifying to your cells. So this salad, we're using our nice, bitter, beautiful, deep green dandelion. And I just love these greens. You can also, I'm going to save a bit of this. I'm going to save it for juicing because that'll be really good in a juice that I make later. So we just want to make sure these greens are chopped well because they are tough, they are bitter, and we just want to make sure nobody gets a really big chunk of the green in their mouth. How are we doing there? Is it better? Okay, good. All right, so I'm just going through these and chopping them up real fine. Okay, and then we have our cheese beans. I should go ahead and put the dandelions in here. This is a delicious salad. You could even do it raw if you wanted to. You could sprout your garbanzos. They're very easy to sprout. But if you have any problem digesting them, you're going to want to go ahead and cook them. You're going to get a lot of benefits from them anyway, fiber. And so here's our salad so far. And I love garlic. You can't have this salad without some lots of garlic in there. So I've got my microplane here and we're going to put some garlic in here. I like a lot of garlic. So I'm probably going to put at least 3 cloves in here, because I like it nice and pop in my mouth. So we're going to use quite a bit of this.
It's gone back to a small screen for quite a while. I can still see you, but I don't know if everybody can because it's a small one again.
We love Sandy.
I don't know if there's anything I can do about it.
Well, everybody might be able to see you anyway.
We can hear
It's
you.
just smaller.
Just, we love it when you talk.
Yeah, I'm
I'm so
listening.
sorry.
There you go, but it works.
I don't
through
know what to do. Any of you techie wizards out there, you might be able to help me. I don't know what to do.
The audio is pretty good.
I'm at a loss.
Video is just a little rough, pixelated, but it's still
Any
working.
suggestions? Okay.
You go for
I
it.
don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, I know. You never know.
All right, putting in more garlic.
Yep.
I really wanted you to see today because I'm making some delicious pies. So I wanted you to see today. Yeah, today was going to be special. I had some special Sabbath pies I'm making for y'all. Okay, so we've got garlic. I'm going to add one more because I love it. Can y'all see me at all? Can you see
Yeah,
me?
you're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we got lots of garlic on the underside of this microplane. We're going to put it in there. And that is going to be divine. I like to go ahead and peel my garlic. I like it fresh. And I peel it myself. and it's just fresher. So remember the salad dressing we made for the cucumber tomato feta cheese salad yesterday? Well, I still have some of that left over, and with the lemon and the olive oil, and we're just going to drizzle some of that on here. And that's all it is, folks. Just a little bit of that. It doesn't even take that much, but that lemon is going to be really tasty in here. And then we're going to add a little bit of Himalayan salt to this. And this is quite a yummy salad. Now, if you wanted, you can add some herbs to it. Let's get our salt in here, our Himalayan salt here. Put some of that in there. That is going to be fine. This is my lunch today, and I'll probably have it with a nice piece of bread and some hummus. Can you all see that? And that is beautiful. Now, like I said, we could add some herbs to it if we wanted to. In fact, I wanted to show you something I use to keep my vegetables and my herbs fresh. And this is a fresh vent, and it's a plastic container, and it has a screen on the bottom of it. Let me show you. See this? A screen. And so what you do is you can prep your vegetables, you can wash them, get them all ready for the week to be used, and then put them in here. And let me tell you, they stay and keep much longer in here. They stay fresh. Quite a long time longer if you just left them in their packaging that they come with. So I'm going to take a little bit of basil out of there, and I'm going to chop that up and add that to our salad. Now I'm going to sit down at some point today and before the Sabbath and try to get these recipes out to you today, as well as some links to be able to get some of the things that I show you on Amazon. We have our basil. You could add parsley, you could add cilantro. That would be good as well. I'm going to throw in some basil into our salad. And that's it. This is just ready to go. It's delicious. It's a great dish to take to a potluck. It's really healthy. And it's really pretty too. Let y'all see that. Can you see it? I hope so. Okay. And here's the dome on this thing, a nice dome. And then it has these air vents on the lid to keep it fresh. And it really works. I'm telling you, it really works. So now I'm going to go ahead and transition into the pies. And I hope you can see this. I really want you to see this. So let me just rinse off my cutting board. Be right back. Okay. Let's get started on these desserts. So I'm going to switch my cutting board over to my sweet side. What would you like me to make first, a strawberry pie or banana pie?
They both sound good.
Okay, we don't have any opinions, so
Banana. I love banana.
Banana.
I think what I'm going to do is banana. Okay, banana gets the vote. All right, so for our banana pie, we're going to start with our crust. And it's a very simple crust. And it consists of coconut shredded. And this isn't the coconut that's sweetened that you get in a regular commercial grocery store. This is the kind you've got to go to the health food store to get. It's a shredded, unsweetened coconut, unsulfured. And then we're taking some raw macadamia nuts and then some dates. You won't have to soak your dates if your dates are fresh enough and they are soft. I've had my dates a while and I stuck them in the fridge because I'm out here in the country in a cabin and we get little critters. So I pretty much keep all my stuff in the fridge. So I had to soak my dates. So what I'm going to do right now is just drain these, but you don't have to soak them if yours are soft. Just remember that. Okay, and I'm using a pie plate for this recipe. So what we're going to do then is we're going to go ahead and use our food processor for this and our S blade. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my macadamia nuts in here. And then I'm going to put my shredded coconut in. I'm going to add a little pinch of salt here, Himalayan salt. And before I throw these dates in, because they're still kind of hard because I just softened them this morning, I'm just going to take my knife and kind of chunk them up a little bit, because otherwise that they might stay kind of chunky inside the food processor. And I don't want my macadamia nuts turning to macadamia nut butter. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and help this out a little bit. I'm going to help this out and just kind of really chop these up. Again, you wouldn't have to do this if you've got some medjool dates that are real soft and fresh. You could probably just break them up with your hands and throw them in there across the top, evenly distributed on top. Okay. I love the medjools. I know they're sweeter, they've got more sugar. We're just using a few for this recipe, not that many, for the crust. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take these and we're going to put them in our food processor and kind of spread them around on top. And we really want to watch this. We don't want it turning to butter. So just about the point where it starts to bead up and sticks together, it really starts to stick, that's when you know it's done. So let me show you what that looks like, okay? Can you all see that? It almost looks like a macaroon, macaroon kind of dough. It just comes together in a little ball there, see that? Okay, so now we can go ahead and press it right into our pie plate. Believe it or not, that makes a lot of crust. All right, let's put it in there and we will have our processor ready for our next recipe here. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and just press this on in. I do have a little offset spatula. It's offset because it has a little ridge here. You can stick your hands there and your knuckles can go underneath there when you press down. So we're going to go ahead and press this down in there. And this is a lot of crust, honestly. I could probably put it in 2 pies, you know, 2 smaller pies rather than 1 big pie. I wonder if I should do that. That's okay. If I have leftover stuff, I will just make some more crust up later. The crust is really good. And if your crust is a little on the dry side, that's okay, because remember, this is a raw pie. We're not going to cook it. And therefore, the moisture from the filling is going to affect your crust. It's going to soak into your crust. So if that crust is a little dry and crumbly, it's okay. It's fine. So I'm actually putting the crust around the lip of the pie plate so it comes up along the sides. So this will have a full crust in this banana pie. And let me tell you something, it smells good right now. It really does. I'm a big fan of coconut. So anything that's got coconut in it is amazing to me. And this does have a lot of coconut in it. So this is a treat, guys. Just because it's raw doesn't mean that we get to eat it every day. This is a Sabbath treat. This is something special. This is something for a birthday or something special, a celebration. Okay. But it is one of my favorite recipes. Now, when I was in California, I could get the fresh Thai young coconut. And that's always nice when you're using a fresh coconut. Some of you may have that available to you. I would go to an Asian market and I would get about a case of Thai coconuts. You can't believe the price. I used to get them for about less than $20 for 9 organic coconuts. Can you believe it? I don't know what they are now down there, but you know, up here you're going to pay maybe $4 a coconut. So I use the canned at this point, organic canned coconut milk. Okay, so this is our crust and it's looking beautiful. I love it. I do. But you see the loveliness of that. Can you not taste it?
Yes.
Just, oh, coconut. It's just, I love that smell. You know, when I was growing up, my mother used to buy this Sara Lee cake because my sister was born on my first birthday. So I've never had my own birthday, and my daughter was born on my 24th birthday. And so my mother used to buy 2 cakes. She bought my sister a chocolate cake, but she always bought me a coconut cake. And I just have loved coconut like ever since. Okay, so for this recipe, we're going to make a filling for this. And this is how we're going to make our filling. We're going to use some lemon. And the lemon is going to help things to keep from getting real brown, but it's also going to give it kind of that cheesecakey kind of feel to it. So you want to put the lemon in. And you know, I like using fresh. So we're going to put our fresh lemon in. Okay, this is such a, I've got these lemons at Costco and they're so juicy. You get so much lemon juice out of it, it's amazing. This recipe only calls for like a 1/4 cup of lemon juice and I've got far more than that. So let's just make sure we don't get that seed in there. Okay, I did get the seed in there. Anybody munching on a seed in this pie? Okay, then we're going to add our dates. We have more of the dates, and I'm going to drain these because again, I had to soak them. So we're going to take our dates. Make sure you pit them because it could be disastrous if you don't pit your dates. You don't go through and make sure they're pitted. If you buy pitted dates, make sure they're pitted. Then we're going to add some vanilla. And I always add a little bit more vanilla because this is raw, you know, we're adding a whole tablespoon of vanilla because of the flavor of it. And it seems to work when it's a raw recipe. I'm doing something a little different because the next pie I'm making, I'm using a cashew filling. So I thought I would do something different, which is I'm using almonds for this one. I do have my almonds soaking. And as you can see, they've been blanched, which is, I take my almonds, I drop them in boiling hot water just for a moment. I take them out and strain them, and then I drop them in cold water. I pour cold water over them. And then I let them sit for a minute or two, strain them, and then I soak them. So for people that have an allergy to the cashew or are concerned about fungus or mold on the cashews, you can use almonds. It's nice and white, and it's going to give the same consistency. In fact, you can use blanched almonds for any of the recipes calling for cashews. It works fine, even for our cheeses, our vegan cheeses that we make. So I'm going to go ahead and add the almonds. And then this recipe also calls for some coconut milk. Yes, it's pretty fatty recipe. Like I said, it's a treat, right? I'm using some coconut oil, some organic coconut oil. The reason I'm using the coconut oil is I want this to be somewhat firm and sliceable. All right, and with the coconut oil, it should set up pretty nice. I did melt that in a, I took the oil and put it in a pot of hot water to melt it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and blend this up right now. And we'll see how we do. All right, so this looks pretty creamy. I had to make a fire up here today. It's still pretty cold in the morning. So if this oil sits out, you know, it hardens. So that's a problem. It was melted, but it got a little hard. But you want this to be nice and smooth. And I think it is right now. Let me show you what it looks like. See that? Nice and smooth. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to add 2 bananas to this. It's almost like a smoothie. We're going to put the bananas right inside of the blender. And then I'm going to blend it up again. All right, I think that should do it. And it does look very pretty. It's nice and smooth and creamy, and it looks just like it's supposed to look. Let me just get my spatula so y'all can see. See that? It's like a batter. All right, so we have our filling. Did I miss anything? Everything went in there, right? Okay. Yes. All right, my pie crust. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our banana and I'm gonna take a couple of these bananas and I'm gonna slice it and put it on the bottom of this pie plate. We're just going to slice it up and put it on the bottom of this. I feel like I'm missing something in that pie. I don't know why. I'm going to taste it, then I'll know. You always want to taste them. You put this much work into it, you want to make sure you got everything in it. So 2 of the bananas go on the bottom. And you just layer them in there. And if you want, you can kind of bring them up around the side too. Bananas are so yummy. I mean, it's one of my favorite foods. I don't know about you guys, but I love bananas. The fact we can get them all year round is awesome. But these are organic because regular bananas are fumigated. So I really, really do eat bananas that are organic. There are certain things I don't fudge on, and one is organic bananas and organic apples. So I'm going to get a spoon. Here's a spoon, and let's see if I've missed anything. That's good. The only thing is, I don't believe the recipe, I'd have to check my recipe, but we're going with this because this tastes good and it's very yummy. So I'm going to pour this over the top of it, and we want to put in about half, and then we're going to add the other 2 bananas. So when I send you the recipe, hopefully I got everything in it. You can check me. Yum, yum. It's not too sweet. And it's just a really nice pie to take to a special occasion. Now, what I like to do is after this pie sets up, I will put a coconut cream on it. And I can show you how to make that. They also sell some coconut creams that you can buy that are pre-made, that are vegan, kind of Cool Whippy kind of creams. Not the healthiest thing out there, but certainly healthier than Cool Whip, which is chemicals. So I'm going to show you how to do a healthy cream that you can top this with that's nice and white. So we've got our bananas on it, and then we're going to cover these bananas up with another layer of filling. And I have a very full pie here. Like I said, I could have probably made 2 smaller pies with this. If you have any left over that you can't get on in the pie, you can always turn it into a smoothie later. Just put it in a mason jar and add some greens and make a smoothie out of it later. All right, there we go. This is so beautiful. It tastes wonderful. I think I got everything in here. There we go. What do y'all think? That's a pretty pie. Now, this has the brown from the dates, but it's going to set up nicely. It's going to be nice and creamy, and it's going to set up enough to where you can slice this pie. And when it sets up, before I serve it, like I said, I'm going to put some cream on it, and that'll make it just really pretty. So this recipe is like a signature Charmaine recipe, and I'm going to send this to you because this is one of my favorite recipes here, this banana cream pie. Okay, it's going to take me just a moment to get cleaned up so we don't mix the flavors for our next pie, which is a strawberry kind of cream pie. So give me just a couple minutes while I get this situated for our strawberry cream pie. doke. Okay. I typically just put that pie in the refrigerator. It does not need to go in the freezer. It will set up. Unless you are living someplace where it's super hot or it's super hot in your kitchen, that should set up fine. If you need to throw it in the freezer because it's super hot, you could do that. But it does really well when you put it in the refrigerator. So that's what we're going to do with this pie. Okay, for our next recipe, I'm going to do a strawberry cream pie. And this is really yummy. This is kind of a romantic looking pie. So I have a romantic looking springform pan. So that's what we're going to do today. You know what I've done is I've taken an old Teflex sheet that is usually to put down in the dehydrator. This one had a little cut in it. And so what I did was I just cut it out in the shape of my springform pan. You understand what a springform pan is, right? That way, when you go to serve it, it'll sit up real nicely and you can put it on display. By the way, because these pies have to sit, if you want to see the finished product, you're going to have to show up on Monday for my talk and I will show you the finished product. A piece of the finished product anyway. So we're going to put our Teflex sheet in there. And the reason for that is it's going to help when you go to slice it and you go to serve the pie. So it doesn't stick to the bottom. Right. So we're going to start with the crust. Really didn't need to wash this out. It's fine if it's got a little macadamia nut in there. It's fine, coconut. What we're going to do is we're going to take our almonds. And these happen to already be chopped, but you can use whole almonds. We're going to put those in our food processor. And then this recipe also calls for a bit of vanilla in the crust. It calls for some cacao. I'm using carob here. And I'm using a little more carob than the recipe calls for, just to make sure that the intensity of chocolate is there, that kind of real chocolatey kind of flavor. So I'm using carob, you could use cacao. And then we're going to use a tad bit of maple syrup. And I have 3 dates, again, which because they were hard, I softened them in a little bit of water, so I'm going to drain them. For this recipe also, what I'm going to do is just break up these dates just to make sure they get evenly distributed throughout the pie crust. I don't want any big hunks. And I don't want to overblend the nuts. You shouldn't have to soak them again if your dates are soft. And if you do have to soak them, make sure you don't over soak them so they're soggy. So we're just going to put those evenly across the top of this. And then we're going to blend that up. Again, we're not going to blend it too smooth. We're just going to make sure everything gets mixed together. Process it up. And you know what? I forgot a little touch of salt. So let's put a little touch of salt in there. It's supposed to be rather brownie-like. So you want to have that salt there. Let it process one more time. Okay, so now we have what kind of looks like a raw brownie. Let me show you this. See that? Mmm. So we're going to take this out and I'm going to press it into the bottom of this pan. It's a little sticky to me. So before I do that, and that's probably because of the dates were wet. So before I do that, what I'm going to do is put it back on here. I don't want it that sticky. I'm going to add a few more almonds to that. And it's good you're seeing this so you'll know what to do too. I'm going to add a little bit more almonds to that to make it drier. Pulse it a minute. If it's too sticky, it's not going to press real well into the pan. So this looks better to me. I'm going to go ahead and put that in our springform pan. And we're going to press it down. I'm going to try to use this offset spatula, but if you have to use your hands, you have to use your hands. How are you guys doing there? You getting hungry? All right, so we just press it down on the bottom of this. There's not going to be enough to go up on the sides on this one, but you don't really need it to do that. It'll look real pretty, just the strawberry color from the filling. This is still a little bit sticky, so, but it's supposed to be brownie-like. Kind of a chocolate strawberry kind of flavor to this. Okay, I'm almost done here. And you are going to need your offset spatula or some other spatula or something to get this crust down in here because it's kind of hard to do. Again, if you don't have to soak your dates, the better, or maybe just kind of pat them dry. Okay, I think we're just about done here. All right, I'll let you guys see what this looks like. Like a big brownie. See that? Yum. Okay, now we're going to make the filling. For this, we're going to use our Vinex again. So we've got our vessel here. Now for this part of the recipe, it calls for some maple syrup. It calls for some vanilla again. It calls for some coconut oil. And my coconut oil has gotten a little hard. I'm concerned about that, honestly. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have a microwave either. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend it real quick with the, because these Vitamixes, if you blend them high enough and long enough, it actually heats the product up. So what I can do here is maybe just throw it in with my maple syrup. I'm taking a shortcut, but I don't have a microwave. So I'd have to boil something and melt this. For the sake of you guys and time, I'm just going to put this in here first by itself and just blend it up with the maple syrup and see if that melts it a little bit. It's not enough in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of the coconut milk so it can stir a bit. See if that helps it. Okay. So this recipe that you'll be getting is a recipe to make a smaller size pie, like the one I'm doing. It's not an 8-inch or 9-inch pie. So it did whip up nice and smooth, which is good. I was just concerned about that because anytime you add something cold to your coconut oil, it definitely hardens right away, and it'll harden in your vessel, which makes it difficult. So that's why I wanted to get that mixed up first. So then I'm going to add some more of my coconut that I have here. Add some of our cashews. I soaked more than I needed to. And we're going to go ahead and get this whipped up first, processed first. Okay, that looks good. That looks how it's supposed to look. So now I'm going to add our fresh strawberries. These are fresh organic strawberries. Oops, hang on. Okay, I poured off a little bit of this because I want to swirl in a little bit on top of the red. So just a little bit comes off. So I'm adding my strawberries. This is a nice pink color. And if you wanted to make it even pinker, can you see that? If you wanted to even make it pinker, you could add a little bit of beet powder to it. I kind of like this kind of hot pink color, so I don't think I'm going to do that, but you could. So then we're going to go ahead and pour this into our our pie dish here, our spring corn pan. Y'all can see that. Let me pour it your way so you can see. All right. Now, what you want to do is you want to take your cream and pour that over the top. And then with a knife, we're just going to kind of run it through it and get some swirls of this in our Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt the camera because I can't tilt the pie. It will mess up the design. So let me bring it over here and see if y'all can see that. Can you see that all right? Yeah?
Looks yummy.
It does look yummy. So this pie is going to go in the refrigerator as well. I put coconut oil in here, a little more than the recipe called for because my freezer's full. So it would sit up in the refrigerator. It would set up. So it will be sliceable. You could leave out some of that coconut oil and put it in your freezer. And then just take the pie out just a few minutes before you want to serve it. And then let it thaw a little bit. But this one is going to go into the refrigerator because I don't have the space. So anyway, I'd like to show you what this looks like on Monday. So be sure you tune in Monday for my talk on Monday because I'm going to be showing you some of these pies and what they look like. Anyhow, I hope you've enjoyed this demo today, you guys. It's been such a pleasure to be able to present with you. I enjoyed coming and talking to you Terabella people on the feast, and I hope you've enjoyed this.
We have, and I thank you very, very much. And we'll look forward to it on Monday. And you're at 9 o'clock our time. So we will see you then, and be sure to send me all that stuff and the other link for your other program too.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, bye guys. Yeah, I have some things coming up, by the way. I told you I have had an herb walk and an herbal hike, so I'll send you those links as well. Anyway, take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
I think I'm gonna keep it across. And just
All right.
fresh strawberries.
That's it, everybody. That was very good. See you guys in the morning.
Just cornstarch mixture.
Um,
And pour that on strawberries and then I'll whip it. And then pour that on top. But it's not like a cream.
The ultimate